Hey, good afternoon, everybody. We are excited to have you all here um, and viewing with us to kind of talk about the theater and dance department. But before we get started, I just wanted to let you know, introduce myself. I am Bayleigh Smith. I'm the Welcome Center coordinator here for Lamar University, and I will be kind of one of the hosts today for this session. So if you have any questions at any point, there is the chat feature. So if you kind of scroll at the bottom of your screen, there's a couple of different options, but you'll see the button chat. If you click that, you can chat in at any point during the session. If you have any questions, you can ask your questions. We'll also, if you would like to put your email at any point in the chat, you can either send it directly to me. My name is listed as Lamar University on here, and it has the host by it, and you can send your email directly to me, or you can um, send it to everybody however you would want. It's going to automatically default to everyone. To change it to just directly to me, click the little arrow by the to option when you're in the chat form, and just change it to Lamar University, and I'll get your email. Another thing to note is that we do have an admission counselor here with us, Carly Olaf. She is here if there's any admission questions that you have. She will be chatting in with you. So just put those in the chat form and she'll chat back and give you some answers if you have any admissions related questions. I am also recording this session. So if you have any questions or anything, you can come back to it later and see if your questions were answered, or if you want to refer some friends, or if you just want to take a look at it later on. It'll be posted on our visit page, lamar.edu/visit, for you to view at a later time. I'm going to go ahead and just hand it over, and we're going to get started. I'm just going to let them take the wheel.
Hello, I guess this is me. My name is Golden Wright. I'm the department chair for the Department of Theater and Dance, and I think shortly Joel Grothy will be joining us. He's an associate professor in theater. Today we'll be talking a little bit about the Department of Theater and Dance and the degree plan and some of the things that are involved there. I think I can share my screen here. I'm kind of new to this, and I'll do a little bit of that here in a few minutes. But the Department of Theater and Dance, we offer a Bachelor of Science in Theater and Dance. We have three different emphases. One is in acting, one is in dance, and one is in technical theater. With that, there's lots of things you can do with it, but I'd like to talk a little bit about how you can build some of those strengths within our program to get you a job afterwards, and so what some of those jobs are. Our program is it's a 120-hour degree plan. Within it, each season we put on 6 productions, 4 plays, 2 dance concerts, 2 student-driven dance concerts. There's other things involved, like sometimes we're involved with the Grand Ball, which is a college fundraiser where we perform in it. There's a couple of other events, President Circle, the undergraduate research. They have a performance that we've performed in the last couple of years. We've done, but throughout every level of the university, from university to college to department, we've been involved with performing and been one of the faces of the university. Who guides that is we have a group of faculty that they are very strong in what they do, and they're continuing to practice what they're teaching. For instance, Joel Grothy, who I mentioned a few minutes ago, he's a professional actor. He continues to work with Houston Grand Opera, Main Street Theater. He's done a couple of performances recently. He continues to do training with professional actors, and he directs and teaches a number of those upper level theater or acting courses. Sharia Costa is a costume designer. She does that for professional theaters. Liz Freeze, a scenic designer, the same. Brian Latronic is certified in stage combat. Travis Prokop is performing with Hope Stone and trains in aerial silk. And you'll see, I'll show you a few photos of some of that stuff later on. Lou Arrington owned a studio and continues to teach at one. Amy Elizabeth Smith is a professional, has her own professional company. I continue to perform and teach classes. So each of the faculty in which you take classes from, they're continuing to do the things that they're training you to do later on. We attend a number of different conferences throughout the year. We go to ACDA, American College Dance Association, TETA, that's a theater conference. And within those, you start to build a group of friends and a network that will help you later on. We do a summer dance intensive. We bring in students who are allowed to come in from the age of 9 up to our college students. They take classes for 2 weeks in July. It provides an opportunity to work with the community in the Southeast Texas area. We do lots of guest artists. We've brought in Sean Carmen, who danced with Alvin Ailey, LaCasha Fall on Broadway, and is currently touring with Lion King, Amelia Fisher, Carolyn Johnson. There's just a couple of them that we've done lately. And so we really think that it's important to bring in guest artists to supplement and to provide a different view of what we are currently teaching, and also to provide those networking opportunities outside for people to be able to reach out to once they've graduated. We do have a number of scholarships that's involved that helps our students be successful as they go through our program. And something that we've been proud to start recently is a study abroad relationship with Tainan University of Technology in Taiwan. And we've done 2 successful study abroads there, and we've brought them in when we hosted American College Dance Festival, and they were our guest artists for it. We've had them in 2 times, and I think it's important to have those students get out and about and experience the world. Why should you get a degree in dance or theater, whether it be acting, technical design, or dance? All of these things that you learn train our students to be professionals. We teach them how to think creatively, problem solve, collaborate with others. We want them to leave Lamar University and our department as a professional, and that will help them in careers such as an actor, a director, a designer, a choreographer, a dance instructor, studio owner, teacher, or a dancer. And all of those things that we teach in those classes and that our faculty are currently doing are things that are going to help them in those fields. But those are things, those kind of things that we talked about a while ago about being able to think creatively and problem solve and collaborate with others. All employers want that, and so we want to build professionals in the field. Your first year as a freshman, one of those schedules are a little bit different based off if you're an actor, a dancer, or someone who's in tech and design. But what we do is we build a cohort, so they take a class in each one of those particular areas together. They take a production class for the performances, and then they also take a couple of core classes. So they get to build relationships with people in all 3 disciplines as they go through our program early on. It's a good support system. It allows them to be able to build the foundation to collaborate later on larger productions. That's the majority of what I've got as far as the department and what's involved with it. I think I can screen share here and show you the faculty, and I've got a few photos here and just a couple of things to show you within it. So I'll screen share here. We'll start with this. this is currently our faculty that we were talking about a while ago, and in each one of those people work hand in hand and collaborate with our students on the productions that are involved. And we have student directors from time to time. We have student designers on almost every show, giving them an opportunity to practice what they're going to be doing after they graduate. Here, I just wanted to show a few of images of some of the productions that we've done here recently. Some of them are dance, some of them are theater, some of them have been designed or directed by our students, by our faculty, and it just kind of provide you a few images of what we are currently doing. We bring in a professional photographer, Lynn Lane, who documents all of our productions with photos, and our students are able to take those and use them in their dossiers and portfolios to help them get jobs after they graduate from Lamar. I think that's everything that I've got. I could go on and on about the program. I'm incredibly proud of it. But I think at this point it gives an opportunity that if anybody has questions or specific things that I need to address a little bit more.
I don't see any questions over here in the chat section. So if anyone wants to ask any questions, go ahead. We have a little bit of time. Golden, is there anything in particular our students need to know about tryouts and dates and any kind of deadlines about that?
We do auditions. We are an audition. You have to audition to get into our program. We do require that. Right now it's a little bit different because of what's happening currently. So what we do is everyone has to do an audition. Generally on an audition, we bring them in for a full day. They come in and they take classes. They go to lunch with the major. They do an audition of they do a tour of the campus through our facility. They watch a rehearsal. They do do a portfolio review or a monologue or a solo. But currently we're having to do all that virtually, so it's a little bit different. We are currently doing auditions now. You just reach out to the department and or myself, and we'd be happy to set that up. I think we've done something like 6 of those in the last week and a half, and it's been really great seeing what the students are doing in their own environment. We'd like to see them in our environment, but virtual auditions is currently how we're handling that.
I see we do have a question. The question is, what can I expect in my class schedule?
Class schedule, it's pretty busy. It depends on what emphasis you are, depending on if you're acting, dance, or tech and design. You have the potential to be on stage from your very first semester. All majors are required to audition for their particular discipline. So in a normal day, you may take a acting class, a ballet class, a stage makeup class, a production, which is where you audition and you're cast into parts. So you'll either have rehearsals during the day or during the evening. Generally that happens 2 to 5 days a week, depending on what's involved. And then you'll have a couple of core classes on top of that, maybe an English or a history or a math. But generally we try to rotate that so that our students are taking the same courses in the discipline. And then depending on the individual, we pick what they take for core classes.
Okay. Now, if we want to give it a little bit more time and see if we have any other questions. I don't see any others now in the comment section. Golden, would you say that students need experience in order to major in dance or theater? And well, let's start with that one. Then there's another question after that.
Generally, it helps if you have some kind of background in theater and dance because we do have an audition process. We have had some students that have been successful coming through the program without having any background in it. Um, um, so I would say it's not required, but it's definitely helpful with it.
Okay. We also have a question. What styles of dance do you offer in the dance department?
Ballet, tap, jazz, modern, aerial silks, hip hop, partnering, social ballroom, a little bit of everything. And I want to go back to the previous question for a minute. Just because you don't, if you decide that you're going to double major or you decide that you don't want to major in it, we also offer a minor. We just switched it to 18 hours, and you still perform with us and still involved and take classes. We also, anyone on the Mars campus can audition for any one of our performances.
Okay. Here's another question. Are there any type of internships or work study available?
We do have work study. We also have student workers. And then as far as internships, we do have relationships with a number of different places. And we try to get students involved in that as they get closer to their senior year.
Okay. You might want to discuss more talk about work study, maybe explain what that is in case there's anyone on here who doesn't understand.
Sure. So we have students that are involved and get paid for what they do in the department, certain aspects of it, whether it be building sets or working in the office or creating materials or reaching out to students. One of them is a actual student worker where those funds come directly from the university or the department in order to pay them to do that. Those are more limited. Work study is through financial aid, and what it is it helps them be able to get money and lower the cost of what their loans or their debt that they accrue, and it allows them to be able to work through school and in the actual discipline or the area in which they are studying. So right now, I think we have 6 or 7 students that are on work study. You do have to qualify for that, but it is available, and we have a number of students who are doing it currently.
Okay. We have another question. Does the college, or to add in the Department of Theater and Dance also, do they offer scholarships?
We do have a number of scholarships, and they're actually listed on our website through the department. I don't have them currently in front of me, but I think we have something like 10 or 12 that are endowed in the department. And then we have a number of them that are allocated through the college to us. So yes, there are scholarships available still currently.
Let's wait and see if we get any other questions. What about if one of our students wants to, what do they do to get an audition? How should they go?
All they have to do is contact us at the department, and I can leave in the message, or I can leave in the comments my email address, and they're more than happy to reach out to me, and I will set it up. Generally, you go through Joel Grothy if you're on the acting side, or the tech and design, and on the dance side, you would go through me.
Okay. I'm going to put up everyone's email address at the end when we close out.
Awesome.
We have another question. What is the culture like within the department? And with that, they also want to know how competitive. Is it very competitive?
I think competition is a wonderful thing. I'll start with that. I think competition is an absolute wonderful thing. I think that you grow by trying to be better than yourself and the other people that are around you. And I think that our department has a real healthy atmosphere. It's family oriented. We do a crawfish boil at the end of each year. We have meals in the green room on the opening night of each production. It's a really great camaraderie, and I think it's a really wonderful environment. I do think that it's highly competitive, and I think that that's wonderful. I think that drives you and others to be better. And so I sometimes that competition, that competitive nature is a little toxic, and I have not seen any of that in our department.
Yeah. What about What kind of organizations do we have for our theater and dance students?
We only have one. We have Alpha Psi Omega. It's a national honors theater fraternity, and dancers and actors and technicians, designers can all join in that. You can't join into it until you've accrued a certain number of points by being in productions or being involved or working in shops or supporting what the department is doing. I think the earliest you could do that is probably your sophomore semester. At the beginning, also something else is that at the beginning of every semester, we do a majors meeting. It's not just majors are required to be there, but we encourage minors and others that want to be involved in our department to come to those meetings. It's the first Tuesday or Thursday of each semester.
Okay. What can students do to prepare for an audition?
Well, it depends on the different audition that's involved. If you're doing dance, we generally like to see a solo of whatever style that person feels most comfortable, somewhere around 1.5 or 2 minutes. Show us your personality. Show us a little bit about you. We want to get to know you through that particular dance. In acting, the requirement is a monologue. Something that's memorized, a character that you want to portray, or something that you relate to. We'll generally ask you questions about those particular things. If you want to do tech and design, we generally want to see some kind of portfolio of what you've worked on. In all three of those areas, it's nice to be able to see a resume, see what you've worked on, see what your background and your foundation, so that we have an idea of where to go moving forward.
What have some of our most recent graduates, what have they gone on to do?
Currently have one student that's performing with professional theaters in Houston. We have 2 students that just graduated while they were here. They got professional credit and danced in Houston. I've got 2 dancers that just finished dancing with Lake Charles Civic Ballet as guest artists. Some of them own studios. Some of them are high school teachers. Some of them are, one of them is a technical director at an opera. It's very vague on the kind of jobs that they get, because by building professionals, it allows them to be able to do any one of those things I named earlier. Each one of those things that I named, we have somebody in one of those particular areas from the last 5 years.
What is the student and faculty relationship like?
I feel like it's more of a mentoring relationship versus a lecture-based style. A lot of classes, that's, it's lecture when you get to a university, especially in your freshman and sophomore. And in our department, that's not that way at all. I think in theater and dance, you learn by doing, and so I think the relationship that most of our students have are mentor-mentee, and they learn by doing and working side by side. It's not a lot of theoretical, it's a lot of actual get your hands dirty and go do it. And generally the faculty member shows how to do that, and then the students are asked to do it afterwards or to do it together. So.
What is the student to faculty ratio?
We have eight faculty members, and there's about 52 majors as of last year, or at the end of this year. So being a dancer, I prefer to count to 8 and start over, so I'll let you do the math.
Looking to see if there's any other questions coming through. Anything else, Golden, you can think of to share? Oh, wait, here's a question. What do you suggest I do if I want to do theater and dance, but I'm not sure what exactly I want to major in?
Come perform with us, and we'll help you find where you need to go. We just want you to be successful. I'm really blessed with the opportunity to be able to get up and go do a job that I really love, and that's what we wish for all of our students. So if it's not in theater and dance, start here and we'll help you find where you need to go.
Okay. Don't see any other questions, but maybe if we Wait to give it a second. Someone else will think of something. Is there anything you can think of else to tell our students just about applying or auditioning or anything about the process?
Sure. I would. There's not many things that you're going to go through in this application audition process coming into Lamar or coming into our department or the College of Fine Arts and Communication. There's not many things that we haven't seen already. So you're not alone. If you have questions, let us be a part of that journey, and we'll make it a lot easier on, I'm sure that we can help you out. We know where to direct you, who to get you in touch with. Maybe we can even help smooth out some of that if you're running into struggles. We've helped people with housing, financial aid, the application process. This is, we'll help you in the best way that we can. So let us be a part of that.
Let's see. It said, here's a question. Are auditions offered before each semester? Or I think what they mean is they're just once a year auditions.
No, generally we do auditions as an individual, not as a cattle call audition. So when you reach out to us, we make it individual. We want to get to know you. It's really hard to get to know everybody as a one large audition. You don't get to know us very well. We don't get to know you. So the best way to get to know an individual is to do that specifically with that one person. So generally we do it as a full day. We don't have more than one person here on campus at a time. At this particular juncture, it's pretty easy to do it one versus the whole faculty and have conversations and get to know people.
I think in particular for dance auditions, what do you suggest they wear as far as dance wear wise?
On campus, it's a little bit different. They need to bring whatever it is that they were going to take class. But in this particular situation that we're in, it's whatever meets the solo or whatever they're going to, that will help to tell the story of what they're trying to tell. I feel that's the same way when they do the monologue. I think if you dress the part, you feel more the part.
Yeah. What should students expect as far as their practice time or the time they put in before any theater or dance event? What's that look like?
There's lots of rehearsals that's set up ahead of time early in the semester, so they have an idea of what their schedules are going to be like for the full semester. We do auditions early on, and then we make sure that it doesn't conflict with other core theater dance classes. So it just depends on what you're auditioning for. We have some dance students that even audition for theater productions and vice versa. So those people are very busy. Generally, our classes start at 9 or 9:30. There's a few aerial silks classes that are earlier than that, or rehearsals. But a day generally starts somewhere around 9:30. Rehearsal starts somewhere around 2 or 2:30, and they go till 5 for dance. And then theatrical productions, those rehearsals go in the afternoon. And a lot of what happens in the shops takes place in the afternoon also.
Okay. Do many of our current theater and dance students, do they have other jobs, off-campus jobs?
Some of them do, some of them don't. We have a handful that have the work study and jobs within the department, but I'd say it's probably close to 50-50. A number of our dance students work at studios. Theater students work at a number of different businesses around town. So it is possible to have a job.
What about the study abroad? I know we won't be going anywhere this summer, but what are we looking at for next year? Do we know that yet?
We do not. We have not made that decision yet. You really, in the application process, you want to have something on the other side of where you're going and that relationship or know somebody and start planning on what you're going to do. But right now, everybody's kind of at a standstill and not planning quite yet. This year we were supposed to go to South Korea, and that didn't work out. So we may do that. We may do Taiwan again. On the theater side, there's conversation about potentially going to London in the future. So we've got a couple of things in the works. Don't really want to set anything in stone or back myself into a corner here, but the plan is to try to do one next time.
Okay. We also have a question about what trips we've done. We've talked about study abroad, but maybe we can talk about ACDA. Is that?
Yeah, American College
Okay.
Dance
Yeah.
Conference. This year we were supposed to go to Tulsa. That didn't work out because of what's going on, but we've gone to a number of different places all over Texas and New Mexico. We hosted it 3 years ago. We're planning on hosting it again in 4 years. Generally, it's every collegiate program in that particular region, which would be New Mexico and Texas, and everybody comes together and shows work. And then it's adjudicated by 3 professionals in the field. And so you get feedback on your choreography, and then you take classes during the day from all the different faculty and grad students. Any kind of class you can think of in dance is offered. And we go to that every year. There's also informal concerts where students can showcase their choreography there. So it's a phenomenal opportunity. It's generally about 5 or 6 days long. It's a really great way to network and see what other students, faculty are doing from across the region.
Is there anything on the theater side that's similar to that?
There's a couple of them, USITT, there's a regional and a national, and then there's TETA. That's similar things where you can put in, you get to, people get to audition and potentially get feedback, or it's a recruitment tool. A number of times we meet high school students at those particular events as well. USITT has United States Institute of Theater Technology. That group this year it was supposed to be in Houston, and I've actually presented there, and there's panels and they talk about all different things and they show different technologies that are taking place currently. It's a really great one as well. Okay.
I don't see any more questions, and we are getting close to our 40-minute time limit. I want to put up, I'm going to put up your email address, Golden, and my email address. Let's see. Can y'all see that or not yet? Can you see my email address? Is it up on the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so I have Golden's email address. If you have any questions for him, he's the department chair. I'm the marketing and communications coordinator for the college. You can always email me and I can put you in touch with anyone you need to. And Joel Grothy, who is our theater professor, we mentioned him earlier. He was on here at the beginning and maybe there were some technical difficulties, but his email address is also up there if you need it. Any questions, just let us know. You can also leave your email address in the comments section and we can get in touch with you. We're going to have this video up on the admissions website. That's lamar.edu/visit. And that's going to be up there for anyone to view that wants to. Also be closed captioned for that. Can you think of anything else, Golden, to add?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you, Golden. Thank you, Bayleigh, and everyone else from admissions and recruitment. Let us know if you have any questions.